I still got Neeze and Godly. I feel like Neeze and Godly are going to do exceptionally today. Do I have any logical reasoning behind this? No, I'm just a Godly fan, and I feel
like you probably should, because Neeze and Godly like most likely will do better, but Kresuu Raw on Godly, he will not move on.
You just, what did he do? What is like the...
He ignored my DMs! It's rude.
I'm so sorry.
And see, you saw the neutral stick come out and he just hit his teammate on that. Kresuu Raw.
You gonna be okay?
I don't know.
It's been a long day.
Wow. We're barely even in this weekend at all, Dara.
I should have been like a little bit more gentle.
Maybe you should have been, because you're stuck with me all weekend.
Ugh. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. Godly gonna be able to take it off that stock off the top. Yep, there it is. 3-2, 3-2. Blue is the one that is poised to lose the stock next. Question is, how are they gonna stay alive? The neutral light comes out, puts Blue off stage. Neeze wants to dash jump out there, wants to find that ground pound. Didn't find it though, and Blue is continuing to stay on this blue stock.
Did get a couple hits on the red team. I believe he ended up hitting both, but then went with a D-Sig, and that ended up hitting his teammate. There's a side signature from Neeze. He's been using that really, really well today on that Gauntlet kit against multiple opponents so far.
Oh, that's the recovery. That's going to be Blue's blue stock gone off the top. Now Godly is the one that is stock tanking for the red team and is poised to, keep it that way for the moment. Oh, that didn't KO.
That's tough. Wrong side of the stage, sending to the wrong blast zone. If that would have been to the left, 100%. He's done. That stock is gone.
Kresuu gets knocked off stage here. That's going to be Godly soon to follow as well. Kresuu, though, still hanging on, and Neeze is going to take his sweet old time. He does not care about getting this KO at the moment. He just wants Godly to get back into the swing of things so that he can help him out. Neeze looking for the neutral light, doesn't find it. Pops him up with a side light, but I like the fact that Godly disengaged and realized that Kresuu was ready to hit him.
Over on the edge, Godly ends up taking away the stock onto Kresuu, putting him on the final. Let's see if the blue team can turn this around and get Neeze. They get Neeze off the top, but blue also falls. Godly's survivability. He's been the outlier this game, staying alive longer than everybody else. Meanwhile, like Neeze and Kresuu have been going basically on pace with one another.
And what Godly has been doing, he has been excellent backup for Neeze. Godly has just been looking at the amount of times that Neeze gets hit and is like, hey, don't sweat it. I got you. I'm going to get you out of there. I'm going to make them disengage. I will force them to do so. Godly looking to get this follow-up. Not able to connect that neutral, a little bit too far back. Not on the same page as Neeze in that one moment. Blue, though, able to get that spike, which is huge onto Neeze. That's going to be the stock.
That's huge!
Oh, that doesn't KO.
That was so big, getting Neeze off the bottom. That took him out of the game, but unfortunately, like, Godly still has 2 stocks. And so, honestly, for the most part, I don't really see him losing this because Kresuu is so red, because blue is so red. They, honestly, even though they have the man advantage, are still going to have to play, like, near perfect Brawlhalla.
Just don't mess up, 5-10. That's it.
Yes,
that's all that there is to it.
You have to not mess up, and then not mess up again, and then not mess up again, and then continue to not mess up.
And you mess up once, guess what? Godly has the ability to mess up. He is sitting on 2 stocks. He's got one more to play with that's going to be nice and healthy, but he might not even need it at the moment. Gets the weapon toss, waiting on the ground, patrolling. Okay, blue goes for the side light as a get off me option. Wants a little bit of space at the moment. That's the follow-up. That's the KO. Blue... I mean, anything that Godly does is just going to KO at this point. Anything. You can sneeze on him, and he'll explode into a million little pieces.
And not only that, you are playing a 1v1 against the player who won 1v1 at DreamHack Valencia. And it's just like that.
Thanks, Announcer. That described how I was feeling perfectly.
So true, bestie. So true. Look at Godly. 715 damage with 5 KOs.
Yep, that was the MVP of the game thus far. That goes without being said, but the interruptions, the combos, the follow-ups, Godly found everything that he was looking for, and then of course in 1v1s, he was really scared. There was a moment of hope for the blue team, which is, hey, we've set up a 2v1. Let's see if we can make this happen. But you have to play immaculately. You do not have the ability to mess up a single time. Ideally, you have you labbed out your technical 2v1 combos that you can execute. You just have to make sure to execute on those. That didn't happen last time. Let's see what's going to happen game 2.
Yeah, we're getting into game 2 here, and we will notice, shrewd viewers at home might have noticed that Kresuu has swapped over to Orion. If we look at the damage numbers, it makes sense why you would want to carry over the Spear from Brynn rather than going to another Axe Legend. He only did 88 damage on Axe, and he took 98.
Ouch.
Meanwhile, the Spear did 263.
Wait, only
so
88?
Definitely only 88. That's why he focused more on Spear and is moving over to this Legend instead of another Axe.
Not faced to that amount of Axe damage. So,
okay.
it was a good switch.
Yep. Okay. I'll divert to you on that.
Yeah, thank you. I'm the expert on that. So really appreciate that. That being said, Neeze going off stage, able to get that side, cleans up that stock. Now Blue tries to find a way to get back on. Godly wants to find that down. What a little follow-up. That was cute, but it didn't lead into anything else. And in fact, Neeze almost kind of saved him.
They got to find a way to shut down Godly. That's part of the win condition. That is not the only win condition because you still have to deal with Neeze, of course. But based on last game, like they got to find a way to shut down Godly.
And it's not looking like that answer is going to happen anytime soon. How do you defeat God? It's insurmountable.
Oh, well, in the Golden Compass. I haven't seen that movie in many years, but I think they defeated him in that movie.
You know what?
Daniel Craig was in that one. There was a big polar bear. I can't remember if he talked.
That's the
or
only
if he
kind
was
of
just a
audio
nice
review that they
little guy.
need. This is what they're going to do. In between like the next matches, they're just going to study up on it.
Watch the Golden Compass.
I have no idea what that is. I can't even lie.
It is an old movie.
Yeah,
It's
you
really
would
not
definitely
old.
say.
It probably came out in like 2009. Taza, 2009 check? Yes, he said it is 2009. Cool.
You should have did. That being said, Blue.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
Big boot.
Neeze looking
But
for
he
that
saved
neutral.
him.
Yeah, look at this. Godly just going to continuously save his teammate. That's what I mean about Godly just being the backup for Neeze that he so desperately needs. Neeze has consistently made it back onto the stage because of him. Neeze has consistently gotten out of disadvantage because of Godly. He is the best teammate that he could possibly be at the moment. That's the D-Sig coming on out. Kresuu takes off that stock off of Godly, putting him on his last, and so will Neeze. But now Blue has been knocked out of play, knocked out of the game.
Done as well. And that save from Godly when he hit the ground pound on his teammate and then hit the save as well. That's like when when you do something bad and your mom says like, I brought you into this world and I can take you out of it.
Quite
Showing that like
it?
I am the merciful hand. You live and fall by mine own hand at mine own discretion. Much in the way that a god would behave.
Not very kind, is he? He's not been very kind.
No, he's not kind. I've been saying that all day. He's the worst.
He didn't respond to your DM. It's the most awful thing.
These are the same. These are equally egregious. I feel sorry for Neeze. He's the poor victim here. He's seeing some of my wrath and Godly's wrath.
Yeah. I feel like
the Taza reaction, dude. The Taza reaction.
You can't just call me Taza. Dude.
I can. When you behave the same way, I will do so.
3, 2.
But we're getting a different reaction coming out from Blue and Kresuu. This is Blue moving off of the Kaya over onto the Hattori. This is Kresuu moving off of the Brynn, off of the previous legend, onto a Sorolent.
Interesting. Curious what it's actually going to do for Kresuu at the moment. Really, the game plan remains the same. Right, where it's like, hey, we have to find a way to separate Godly and Neeze so far from one another that they're not able to assist each other because their synergy is coming out on top. Neeze going all the way off the top as well, cleaning up that stock so early into the game. Now Neeze tries to dodge past that recovery. Nice delay, nice charge up on it. That's going to be the recovery, but wow, still Kresuu hanging on to that first stock. Let's see what he can make out of it, and that's a huge side of. Guess what? Godly's losing that first stock.
The bottom
super
side?
early into the game.
The bottom side of the horse made a connection with Neeze, but he does down air into the wall when he was in sweat beads, resetting his jumps, giving him a chance. He gets over the swipe from that smoke cloud that came out from Blue on the down signature. Now, looking at this Sorolent on Kresuu, it is his 22nd highest leveled legend, so it's kind of down there a little bit at a level 29. He has a high enough level for the black color scheme, but beyond that, it's only 4 levels beyond that.
He
so
got the
not
color
a
scheme
lot of
and he
time
just
on it.
stopped. He was like,
Pretty
oh,
much.
That's cool enough.
But he's relying on that high defense here, which is how he was doing such a great job surviving early on. And Blue is actually going on pace with Godly, but Neeze is now taking the side of the stock tank. He's the one taking all the punishment and not falling.
This is the blue team sandwich at the moment. Neeze and Godly just had them sandwiched for a good chunk of that game. They kept getting passed back and forth, and now all of a sudden, that's a huge spike, though. Super, super important. Wait, excuse me? That was Neeze's first stock?
It was. I'm telling you,
Okay.
Neeze is doing like what Godly was doing, but honestly, maybe even better this game.
This is Neeze's game right now. That's the one to definitely look at the moment. Look at the amount of times that he's initiating Neutralite into the downer as well. Wanted the jump call out with the Neutralite. Godly holding onto that second stock as well. Weapon toss, cross up sider as well. Godly and Neeze looking unstoppable until Neeze is like, hey, if there's anybody that can take you out, it's going to be me, pal. It's going to be me.
They got the 2v1 combo started on Neeze, ended up dropping it over on the edge. They found some damage after that as well, so the damage was decent, but they're so far behind now. Blue playing Hattori, not the highest defense legend in the game. Kresuu playing one of the highest defense legends in the game, depending on stance, and is just barely alive compared to Blue. So the survivability just isn't quite there for Kresuu. Meanwhile, on the other side, Neeze is still sitting on second, over 2 minutes and 45 seconds into this game, and will live forever on that second stock as they clutch this one out. 719 damage, Dara.
They're looking indomitable at this moment. Neeze and Godly, their synergy, fantastic. Their KO potential, amazing. Their 2v1 combos, fantastic. There was nothing in that entire game that was an exploitable habit for Blue Team to look at and be like,